Hey y'all, this is Dietra D, and welcome to another episode of the Dietra D Show. A while back, I did an episode titled, What is Wrong with Young People Today? Well, after a news story that I saw a few days ago, I decided to come back to that topic and dig a little deep, and dig a little deeper. So, let's get started. I don't know if you all have seen the footage of this lady and her children getting attacked by some grade school kids. If you haven't already seen it, you might not want to watch it. But it made my blood boil. I couldn't even finish it. I looked at like maybe the first few seconds of it and turned it off. Anyway, in my personal opinion, I think that any child that is under 18 that goes out into the world, school or any other place, and terrorizes other children or other children and adults, their parents need to be held accountable, because this has gotten ridiculous. I mean, you have to be a special kind of crazy, not have no kind of home training at home, or I don't know, but there's something seriously wrong with you if you're a child and you attack an adult the way those kids attacked that lady and her children. The schools, the school districts, principals, vice principals, and again, the parents, all of y'all need to start being held accountable. You don't have sex, bring kids into the world, and then that's it. You actually have to do your job. You actually have to parent these children. And the mother, the father, granny, grandpa, auntie, uncle, whoever's raising these little demons nowadays, yeah, like I said, they need to start being held accountable. And I'm specifically talking right now to the decent parents out there. If your child or children is being terrorized at school, do whatever you have to do. I don't care if you have to get a bullhorn and stand outside the school every day. Write letters, contact your local news stations. Whatever it is that you have to do, do it to protect your child or children. Because I am tired of these little demons leaving home, going to school, and messing with other children that are just going to school trying to get an education and do the right thing. No child should wake up every morning and be terrified to go to school. And I'm starting to see a pattern, and I'm seeing it more and more. These little demons that are going to school and terrorizing other people, they get their bad behavior from the people that are raising them, or should I say the people that are not raising them. They see mama going out here in the world and being a bully and terrorizing other people. They see daddy, if there's a father in the home, they see daddy going out into the world and acting a damn fool. That's where they're getting it from. So yeah, these parents, they need to be held accountable for their child or children. If they're under 18, start holding them accountable, and maybe they'll start doing their job as a parent. You principals and vice principals, get up off your asses and come out of that office and start doing your jobs. Walk the halls of these schools. Start actually talking to these children. Part of your job as a principal and vice principal is to keep these schools safe. Because again, no child should be terrified to go to school every damn day. That's ridiculous. This is why I have no issue when I see some of these teachers that are just fucking fed up put their hands on these little slick mouth bitches or these little slick mouth bastards in the classrooms. Yes, I said it. I saw that on the news recently, and I've been seeing that a lot. Little Hispanic kid calling a black teacher a racial slur. Actually bucking up to the man. Trying to fight the man. Obviously the teacher had had enough. And he whooped his ass right there in the classroom. And I have not one single problem with that. More of these kids need to start getting their asses whooped. If the parents don't want to do their jobs at home when these little demons go to school, then somebody else is going to do it for them. There are some teachers out there, maybe a handful, that they really don't care about the students. They go to school just to collect that paycheck and then go home. But there are still a lot of good teachers out there that do care, and they are fed up with having to go to school every day and not being able to teach their class because there are some little hellions in there that want to act a fool and be disrespectful. People are tired. I have lost count of how many news stories I've seen of grieving parents of all races, white, black, Hispanic. I've lost count of how many times I've seen grieving parents on the news who have lost a child because the child couldn't take being picked on anymore and they took their own life. Leave people alone. Because what's going to start happening even more so now is that these little demons that y'all are letting out into the world, what's going to happen is they're going to eventually cross the wrong person on the right day. And they're going to wind up 6 feet under. Because again, people are tired. People are tired of being messed with. And then when on the rare occasion that the school does actually decide to do something and contact the parent, it's usually, oh, it's just kids being kids, just teens being teens. Okay, it's kids being kids until your child wind up getting his or her ass kicked. Then you want to come up to the school huffing and puffing and getting in people's faces and getting mad. No. You or your child don't get to be the victim. If your child is going to school every day and bothering other kids, if they eventually get their asses whooped, then it is what it is. I mean, it's only kids being kids, right? Because that's usually the case. Parents who have kids that bully other kids, they don't do a damn thing about it until their kid gets the tables flipped on them and then they get their asses kicked. Then they want to step in and do something. Start doing your jobs as parents. Because if you don't, somebody out there in the world is going to do it for you. And like I keep saying, people need to start being held accountable. The parents of these little demons the school district, the schools. This is supposed to be a community effort. But again, there's no accountability. It's cool to bully. It's cool to be an asshole. This bad behavior from these kids, it has become an epidemic. And it's in every community. Again, white, black, Hispanic. And it's running rampant in the black community. I hate to say it. It is what it is. Go argue with your mama. And this is coming from a black woman. And I don't care how young they are. If you are old enough to go out there and terrorize somebody, then when you eventually have to suffer some consequences, I don't care how young you are, you need to suffer those consequences. I don't care if you're in grade school. And if I saw correctly, one of the parents, well, actually all of the parents of those little demon spawns that attacked that woman, there was no accountability at all. All the parents started pointing the finger at the other parents. You know, it was everybody else's fault. No, not my child. It was that child over there's fault. No, not my child. It was her. Her over there. It was her fault. No accountability from any of the parents. And one of them have the nerve to say, oh, well, they're just children. I don't give a damn. They should have thought about that when they were attacking that grown woman. Every last one of them need to be thrown in juvenile detention or whatever the harshest punishment is that they can receive for their age. They need to get it. Every single one of them. And I hope that mother sues. If there is anybody that she can sue, I hope she does it. I hope she can find the best lawyer in Chicago that'll work for her pro bono. And I hope she slaps every last one of those parents and that school with a lawsuit. Because somebody should have stepped in. And then here's another excuse. Well, you don't know what could be going on at home. That is very true. That is very true. But that is still not an excuse. If something is going on at home, you don't have the right to take your misery and your pain and your anger. You don't have a right to take that out on somebody else's child who's not doing anything except trying to learn and do right in class. If there's something going on at home, try to find a teacher that you can talk to, a counselor, somebody. But you don't get to go to school and fuck with somebody else's child because you're miserable. It's the same with the parents. Because like I say, this behavior usually starts in the home. They've seen mom and daddy out here acting a damn fool, not being able to control themselves. Stop letting your little demon spawns out into the world and allowing them to terrorize other people's kids. Because if the tables get turned and something happens to your child, we're not going to have any sympathy for you when you're on TV, on the news, snotting and crying, talking about, I don't know what happened. You didn't do your job as a fucking parent. That's what happened. And somebody else's child got fed up and they put your child 6 feet under. There was bullying when I was growing up and in school, but it has just gotten out of hand now. Like I say, it has truly become an epidemic. Start raising your kids. Principals and vice principals, start doing your jobs as well. Because I know for a fact, a lot of y'all principals and vice principals, y'all just like the title. That's it. You're not actually getting out there and doing your jobs. Like I said at the beginning, get up off your asses and come out of your offices and actually walk the halls of these schools. Actually talk to these kids. Let them know that you and your office are a safe space for them to come if there is anything going on. If somebody is bothering them and making them feel unsafe, let them know that they have a safe space and somebody that cares that they can go to. There's too much of this shit going on and it shouldn't be. What is it going to take for it to stop? And it's not just in the, quote, bad schools, as some of y'all like to think. A lot of this is going on in a lot of these upper class white schools as well. Like I say, it's going on in every community. Do they need to start having police in these schools to keep these kids under control? I am the mother of a special needs child, and I thank God that my kid is out of school. And when he was in school, I thank God that he did not have to deal with any of this. He enjoyed going to school every day. He had a wonderful time. And again, I thank God for that, because I don't know what I would have done if some little hooligan had been messing with my child at school. So again, to all the good parents out there, the parents that are actually doing their jobs, if somebody at school is messing with your child or children, you do whatever you need to do. You do whatever it takes. Like I say, if you have to get a lawn chair and camp out, sit your ass in the yard right there in front of that school with a bullhorn every day, go to every community meeting that they may have, camp outside the office of the school district. Let them know that you are not going to be quiet until they do something. Go to your local news station and let them know what's going on. These little demon spawns and their parents need to be shamed. They need to be named and shamed. Because a lot of this stuff that's going on in these schools with this bullying and these badass kids, it gets swept under the rug. And you don't have to have a lot of money to do anything either, parents. Like I say, go to your local news station. And this is a good one. I learned this early on. Parents, the good ones out there, again, I'm talking to y'all still. Tell your kids, if there is anything or anyone that is making them feel unsafe at school, tell them to document it. Tell them to Try to go to the principal's office or the vice principal and talk to them. Tell them to write down the date and the time. Even if they don't get a chance to talk to the principal or the vice principal, tell them to document it. I went to principal or vice principal so-and-so to talk to them about such and such classmate messing with me. Write down the date and the time. Tell your child to document everything that is going on. So that way, when it's time for you, mom and dad, to step in, y'all got proof of every single incident. Take that to the news station and say, look, this is what's been happening to my child at school. Here's all of the evidence. My child tried to talk to the principal or the vice principal, and they did nothing. Tell your child to start doing that. There's free self-defense classes. You can go to the YMCA. There are things that you can do, but do not ever let your child suffer. Do not let another child terrorize your child. And I can be very creative and very petty when it comes to protecting children. Parents, the good ones, I'm still talking to you. If need be, give your child some money. And yeah, I'm dead serious about what I'm getting ready to say. Just hear me out. If need be, give your child a couple of extra dollars and say, find the toughest kid in school. Get them somewhere in a corner by themselves where nobody can hear what you're talking about, and give them this money and tell them this is for them to watch your back. And yeah, I'm dead serious about that. Like I say, when it comes to protecting your child or your children, you do whatever it is you need to do. I'm dead serious about that. And to you bad parents out there, yeah, I'm calling you bad parents because a lot of you are. This message is for you. Again, stop sending your little demon spawns out into the world to terrorize other people. Because if you don't do your job, get them professional help if they need it, whoop their ass if they need it. If you don't start doing your job as a parent, somebody else out there in the world is going to do it for you. And you might not like the way they handle it. Because if your little bitch or your little bastard that's out here terrorizing other kids comes home one day and they've gotten their asses whooped, you nor them get to play the victim. Start doing your jobs. And let me say this again. Any parent who has a child that is terrorizing other kids, if they're under 18, the parents need to be held accountable right along with their children. Start suing the hell out of these parents. Start pressing charges against them as well as their kids. Maybe then they'll start taking action and start taking it seriously. It's not cool to go out and terrorize others. And I'm tired of you parents out there that's thinking that it is. I'm tired of you parents out there that don't take any accountability for your badass kids. But again, I'm not surprised because a lot of the parents that are raising these little bastards, you guys don't take accountability for your damn selves. So of course you're not teaching your kids to take accountability for their actions. Anyway, start doing your jobs. Start doing your jobs as parents, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. And once again, to you good parents out there, all the parents that are actually doing their jobs, again, take care of your kids. Do whatever you need to do to keep them protected. Because once we start holding all these other parents who are not doing their jobs accountable right along with their little kid, with their little demon spawns, maybe we'll start to see some changes. When people start suing their asses, taking them to court, pressing charges against their asses as well, they'll start taking this seriously. Because right now, a lot of these parents, they're not taking this seriously. And I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing beautiful children take their lives because they couldn't take the bullying anymore. I'm tired of seeing all of these teachers that just want to teach their class get disrespected by these little slick-mouthed bastards and these little slick-mouthed bitches. I stand with the good parents, and I stand with these teachers that have had enough and that have started putting their hands on these kids and whooping their asses since mama and daddy or grandma and grandpa or whoever is raising these little bastards won't do it at home. I stand with them every step of the way, and I don't care who don't like it. Anywho, thank you for listening to this episode of the Dietra D Show. I will talk to you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.